Wow. Hey guys, if you follow me on Facebook and I told you to come over here, it's because what Facebook just did, I had up to 400 people following me. And Facebook doesn't like my messages. They don't want nobody real and raw. Because what was happening was a bunch of bullcrap propaganda. And I want to be able to talk about what is going on in California. Look, recently I'm going to start over my whole conversation because I was on Facebook and I was talking and Facebook cut me off. And I know some of y'all don't like this hat. So I'm putting it on today because I'm pissed right now. I'm pissed and I want to tell you the real truth. Illegal immigration and chain migration are changing and disrupting our infrastructure right now. This is called Shirley with no makeup. But I wanted to be able to get across to you, look, we are dealing with right now illegal immigrants who continue to say that they're being separated from their families. They're saying we are being separated from our families. Nobody cares about our families. And the media, what they did to Sarah Huckabee was appalling. And I was really, really pissed on that. I was pissed on that because I thought it was so wrong that Sarah Huckabee was being attacked. And what happened to the normal media? I'm going to put you in a different light. I apologize for the dark. What happened to the main media? What happened to the normal media, the good American people who are tired of what's going on in this country? I was recently outside and my Facebook feed got cut off. And they don't want me to talk about this. See this right here? They don't want me talking about Trump, my son pinned it back, but Trump 22. But this is the fact. Illegal immigration is destroying this country. If you come here having a baby, you need to be responsible for that baby. You stop telling people that they need to have these babies and they come here and they drop and squat. And who's going to pay for all these children? Black people are being hurt in this country. White people are being hurt in this country. But you come here, you squat, and you drop these babies. And then you have the audacity to say, well, our families are being separated. Ain't nobody separating you from your child. Ain't nobody trying to make you get away from having your baby. Take your baby back to wherever the hell you came from. That's why black people talking about, oh, I don't like Trump. I ain't thinking about none of them Negroes who keep talking about they don't like Trump. Take your ass back with these illegal immigrants that you're fighting for versus fighting for your own people who are homeless on the streets in California, homeless in the streets in Nebraska, homeless everywhere in this country. The veterans that are homeless in this country. It's a mess. And yet you want me to worry about this woman who has her babies. Look, when I was a child, my parents were Southerners. You know what they used to say? My parents would say, you know what? You're going to be responsible for that child. You brought that child in this world. You're going to keep this child in this world. You're going to be responsible. My parents in their wildest dreams never told me I need to look for government subsidies to subsidize me for my child. But now the government, which is you and me, the people, the Constitution says we, the people, in order to form a more perfect union. There is no union going on. There's constant separation. There's constant protectiveness on these people in conjunction with the Catholic Church to help these people. So when y'all get mad when I say wear this hat, because some of y'all don't like the hat, you call it racism, bigot, and you go through all these agitations. And I want to ask you, what did that other man with that little circle, red, white, and blue do for you? You guys continue to want to support Obama and liberal progressives. They're trying to trip us up. Look what happened to Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart ain't got nothing to do. If you don't want to talk about Trump, good, bad, or indifference, let that man do what he does. No, but Kathy Griffin, who has mental illness issues, that's a serious issue in this country. And Kathy Griffin has a mental illness issue. She wants to pull us into their propaganda. See, again, they like to ride these liberal progressive people, ride on the backs of black people, and it gets old. But illegal immigrants continue to feel that they have civil rights. You saw me do that video where I talked about how they were singing, "We shall overcome." What are you overcoming? The American people with your bullshit propaganda? What makes you think you have more rights than the American people, or more rights than blacks who suffered in this country? And this country was built on the slaves of the indigenous slave child. Where do you get more rights off? So I'm tired of what they did to Sarah Huckabee, pushing the babies. Keep your fucking legs closed. Stop expecting us to be liable and responsible for children that you brought into this country, that you came here illegitimately with. And no one is separating these people. That is a lie. That is a lie. Anybody out there agree with me? This is a lie for them to continue to say, hey, we are being separated. You ain't being separated. You're trying to give that child a privilege. That child is a hedgeway and a privilege blockage rights for you. That's what you're using. That's what they're trying to use. There are more babies that they're trying to push upon us. Their responsibility of these children upon us. I'm not going to be responsible for illegal immigrants' children or these pregnant women that keep popping up, 5 and 6, 7 women across the city. I also posted on my Facebook page this video of a beautiful area we all know in California, the Rose Garden by USC. Now they're out there selling with no gloves, no sanitation, no hats to cover their hair. And we say, oh, but they need money. That's not my issue either. That's not my issue. Middle class is imploding. His hair is in my mouth. Middle class is imploding means it's becoming broken down in the state of California. And many of you guys want to continue to fight against making this country great again. Well, then where are we going to go? Where are Black Americans going to go if we don't try to fix this country and let these people come in here and have more privilege and more rights than you do? And then you get indigenous, you get crazy, you get mad, and it gets old. Look, I'm on here live because I'm sick of the media telling me about they have babies, they need to be taken care of. I don't care if their babies go homeless and get unfed because you didn't have a responsibility. I have 3 children, and I have to be responsible for the children that I brought into this world. I fed. But now in California, half the schools are in English and half the schools are in Spanish, and none of y'all are upset about that. It gets old. I'm sorry. So if you want to really talk about the problems in this country, stop letting them derail us and stop allowing liberal progressive men and women to move forward with their agenda while we're not even addressing American issues. We're gotten away from the Constitution. And we live under this Constitution. I don't care if you don't like this president. I don't care if you like this administration. It's not about like. It's about the reality of laws and the infrastructural rules that we live under. And when you guys realize that, you get it. Big Sap says anchor babies. Anchor babies is the babies that come from people who come here illegally, and then they drop their babies. That's what anchor babies are for those who don't know. And no one wants to use that term, but that's the truth. Sap said the truth. These are anchor babies that are coming into this country, and now they're running and legislations and have jobs in this country. Al Sharpton and the Congressional Black Caucus is approving the DACA as well. I'm going to tell you why that stump down. Is that stump down? Yeah, stump down. Let me tell you why the CBC, and I did videos on that. You can go and look at my CBC videos. The Congressional Black Caucus is getting a check. The illegal immigration, the Latino coalition that support DACA, they get checks. They get federal checks, they get government checks, and they're getting subsidized. And they're riding on civil rights and legislation and laws that were for the protective black class. And so now they're saying they're the new protective class and that they deserve those rights. Black people deserve those rights. We are not loud enough. We are not united. We fight against each other. We criticize those of us who wear this hat. We talk about each other, and they got us right where they want us, all talking about bullshit and not addressing the issue as a united front. So the anchor babies and the fact that we continue to talk about the congressional so-called black leaders, there's no black leaders. Those leaders are leading themselves because they consist of congressional leaders that have to be appointed because you have to be an elected official to be part of that. They don't really represent our people because they have laws that they must support for their districts that consist of illegals like Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters' district consists of illegal immigrants. So why would she want to help black people when black people aren't even in her district? We're down to 6% blacks in California. So a lot of those people have districts that aren't black and some of them that are black, and they'd rather give them a job over you. So they're not our leaders. Don't trust those black leaders. I wouldn't trust those black leaders chop either. That's why I told you guys, let's work together with urban game changers. Let's create our own voice on the table, our own village in our group, and start having our own Wakanda. These people are not for Wakanda. They do not want Wakanda in our country. They don't want Wakanda. They want you to be inclusive. And you know what's happening with these illegal immigrants? They're taking their money and they're sending it back to where they came from. They're sending it back to their country, making Guadalajara, Mexico, El Salvador. They're making those countries great. El Salvador, Saudi Arabia. And the people say, well, they have money. Yeah, they come here and they siphon off our infrastructure and they're greedy and then they put it back there. They're not trying to help our country. They're only helping their own people. And I wouldn't trust them either. KBO 6612. You say immigrant activists and illegal immigrants promise that the blanket amnesty of 1986 is going to fix all this. Did it? Or do you think we're fixed? We're not fixed. We're not fixed because we are a nation of people of laws that we don't enforce. We are African American black children of the indigenous slave tribe, the Wakanda tribe, the original tribe of this country, the people who come here who originated in this country. As you know, Wakanda is fictitious, it's not real. So we all say that, and so some of those who may watch this and saying, she thinks it's real. No, I do not think it's real, but I believe that we as a people should unite in the reality of that. Because what has happened is we have been colonized by these people, pushing us out of our communities, out of our stores, and out of our markets, and out of the ideology for our millennials to think that black people never worked and that we're lazy and we're incompetent. And that's a bunch of bullshit right there. Jules, thank you so much for coming and chiming in early, by the way. Jules said the separations of our black families, but we should be considerate of them. The separation of black families, but we shouldn't consider. I don't care. I'm not considering nothing for them. I'm not giving them a dime. I'm not giving them a footstool. I'm not giving them a ground to stand on because they come in mass numbers. They come with migration, with a lack of assimilation, of a takeover colonist mentality. And as long as we continue to give them an inch, they take miles, they take droves, they take cities, and they continue to push us out and make us homeless. They continue to push us out and play with the millennials' minds that millennials will never know that black people own businesses. Never. And we ain't got to go back to Black Wall Street. We can go back to the 80s and the 90s. Well, black people owned and had things to make this country great again. But we can't do this. We are not going to do this. This ain't happening, especially with black people, until black people can have an understanding of solitude and communication. You're not going to have the reconciliation and understanding where we're at. That is not going to happen. Hey, Freedom, how you doing? Super fam, I appreciate you being out there. Look, in order we understand wealth, that's why that other night we were playing cash flow. I want you to understand there's people who are living in this country. They're going to make money and they're going to live and die. Live and let die. That's what they're going to do. The rest of us are living and surviving. And I'm helping you move through this progressive survival zone and identify by not sleeping at the wheel. Jules says, Shirley, I said we should not be concerned about them. I'm sorry. Thank you, Jules. We should, but we shouldn't. And let me tell you why we should be concerned. Because they're derailing us from a voice at the table. Illegal immigrants are derailing our voice at the table. We are derailing our voice at this table with this administration. And I tell you why. Because we continue to talk about mass incarceration and abortion and Planned Parenthood, right? And I'm not saying that mass incarceration is not an issue, and I think what Kim Kardashian did was great. But what I'm saying is there's some of us who ain't in jail and didn't abort our babies. What about the rest of us living here? What about the middle-class families here? What about the jobs? They should say this is specifically for African American, because there are governmental programs for minorities, but for some reason we're not an existing entity. We're not even human. So I have concerns for that. And I have concerns for someone creeping behind my back, which is illegal immigrants, and riding off of it. There's a concern for a usage of a black person's back like ours. You should have concerns for that. So that is my main concern. Okay, KBO 66112. In my opinion, there is no need for immigration reform. I totally agree with you. All that is needed is enforcing of existing laws that are already in the books. Now, we've been saying this for decades. We go back to Terry Anderson, who said this way back in the early 2000s. We need to enforce existing law. I would agree with that. This is the problem. We are a country that are ruled by a nation of laws, right? Right? Infrastructure of the Constitution, of rules and regulations. The problem is the people have allowed the leadership that have been voted in as leaders in this country to push that aside and push their agenda and have you talk about things that really affect your life less than others. So there's a minority issue and a priority issue. And that priority issue is very clear. You're illegal, the word illegal. If you smoke weed, if you go rob somebody, you go kill somebody, you take somebody's stuff, okay? You step out of line, you do something that is against the law, you've done something illegal. There are repercussions for illegal acts. But the word illegal and the thought plane of illegal has now been changed, right? The word illegal has been acceptance. The word of legal has had some kind of good or sorrow or pain or compassion derivative behind the word illegal. It is what it is. It's an illegal issue, and we need to stop that. Dems are losing in their chokeholding on progressive ideologies. Or ideology, right? So they are playing, this is what Lawrence is saying, they're playing with the victim card in the new agenda. It's a card. Absolutely. You know the card they do is I get a baby. You see my baby? You separate me from my baby. I have more babies. Keep your fucking legs closed. Tell that bitch you had sleep with last night to keep her legs closed. Be responsible for your child and not expect the American people to be responsible and liable for your child. I don't understand why people don't understand responsibility and liability. But you know what they want to understand is that they can get you feeling sorry and sympathetic as the hedgeway for these people. The hedgeway for these people. And that crap gets old. It gets extremely old. We also need the wall. Oh, we need the wall. We need to get rid of Jeff Sessions. I am sick of begging and pleading and rawing for Jeff Sessions, who is not acting accordingly, who's not enforcing law. Somebody need to share this video. Share this video. Because I was doing one on Facebook, had up to almost 400 people watching. You know they don't want my voice to be heard. Now, if I got on there talking about Kathy Griffin or Kanye West, or if I got on there talking about Kim Kardashian or whoever the latest celebrity, they'll let that video go through. But when I talked to Ruth, the truth talked about, I talked about the Catholic Church working in conjunction with illegal immigrants, all of a sudden my feed went dead. Okay? So I don't control Facebook. It is nothing but a social platform where I share my viewpoints and my ideology, and their job is to break the true voices that are at the table, the true kings and queen voices who are at the table. Just because we don't do a video every day and rant about the latest news and regurgitate news that already exists. But when I give you real truths of how these people come here with no skill set and they steal from us, they don't want you to hear that. When I tell you there's squat zones in San Francisco where people are publicly shitting all over the place, and they're going to give you a map when you come here so that you realize this ain't going to happen. This ain't happening. This ain't happening. Not in California, because they got squat zones. They gave these people squat zones to go in, and they're going to tell you when you go to that part of San Francisco, don't go there. Facebook going to cut you off. They don't want you to know the real pain and anguish and the implosion that is taking place, the quarantine that's going to commence, the hypodermic needles that are thrown on the street, the disease and the bed bugs that are growing from these people coming into this country. Oh no, they don't want to tell you that. So I'm here to tell you the real truth. There's some bullshit going on in California. I see the Jewel and KB6612 are talking to each other. You know what? You guys have to wake up to illegal immigrants. Don't give them a footstool. Don't give them the ground. The Catholic Church are working together against the black community and the white community and the American community. The Catholic Church are ciphering off of the American dollar infrastructural protective systems to help these people. And we are continuing to allow them to do that. And we need to stop. We need to stop. Because see, again, like I said, there's a lot of people in these bullshit videos. They got you ranting on about all the other stuff going on in this country. Do not let your mind be adhered to that mess. And when you see my videos and you see me in this mode, you need to listen. You need to share. You need to talk to each other, my people. And stop getting mad at this damn hat and people for them wearing it. I don't want America to be great again. He's no good. You didn't say nothing with Obama when you was out there allowing black people to get killed as they are in Chicago. Chicago's crime did not go down under Obama's administration. And that's how he became president. Okay, Chicago still messed up, Detroit still messed up, and they're messed up under this administration. And the reason why is because we as a people haven't come together as a united front and had a louder voice on the table with this administration. And that's why I've tried to create, and I have created urban game changers for you guys to go, for you to join. We need to have a conversation with each other because they want to shut our voice down. We use these social media platforms to bring unity with each other, to bring clarity with each other instead of attacking each other. We may not agree on every aspect, but understand it's not the Democrats, it's not the Republicans, it's their whole agenda of liberal Democrats and rhinos and Republicans. All these people who have been able to get paid off of us, off of good American people. Our families are being separated. Why don't we care about that? Why don't you care? Hey, T West, I love you. I see you out there. Why aren't you guys caring about our families first? So now, again, we are what's it, the 6th month or whatever the month this is in June. We're in June, and we're still talking about illegal immigrants. We're still talking about what they should have as rights, and we're supposed to care about their babies. Keep your leg closed, please. Stop trying to make your liability my liability. There's a liability that you have for having children into this world. Look, in California, they're stealing our skill sets, and they're going to do that to you. You watch how these people you hire, they get hired on jobs, they work with you. Next thing you're going to look up, they're going to set up a shop next to your business, which you have. If it's roofing, if it's piping, if it's any kind of everyday skill set that they can pick up without a degree, they're going to take that job. They're going to create that institute, and they're going to call it whatever, Gomo, gas, whatever, and he's going to take that. Another thing they're doing, they're sending money back to their country. They're sending money back into their country, and they're not even trying to assimilate or associate or put money back into this country. And then they ride on us saying, well, black people need to be united with us. Black people got to take care of themselves. I'm sorry, black people. Stop these liberal, progressive, he, she women. Forget them bitches. All y'all who might be watching, I don't give a crap about you. You don't intimidate me because you like to lick pussy. I'm sorry for getting a little nasty right here. You're not going to get on my, you're not going to make me feel intimidated. I'm a raw sister. I'm going to keep it real with you. These black men who are emasculated, bisexuals, transgender, confused on what they and who and what they are. All y'all want us to focus on your sexual orientation. I don't care what you like to do in your private time. But I want you to realize that we are on a verge of extinction as a culture of people because we are continuing to be rid upon. We are extinct as a culture of people because we're not talking about cash flow and money, ways to make money without money. We keep talking about what we don't have and wanting government to take care of us. We continue by talking about mass incarceration, and we continue to talk about abortion. Well, what about the rest of the normal people out here? I'm sorry that the things have happened, and I'm not being desensitive to the incarceration issue because I know that is a tracked and targeted issue. And we've talked about that, and there's other people who've done videos on that. When I'm telling you this, us who are in the middle class, who want to pay our bills, who want to have a voice in the seat at this table that ain't getting it. And the reason why we're not getting it, because there are walls and there are people on both sides, Republican and Democrat, that are black, that are blocking so they can get those subsidized government checks or those entities or whatever. There's nonprofit money, including the Catholic Church. Y'all need to talk more about that Catholic Church. T. West talked about it on his video, and you hear Nikki Green talk about this. You've heard a lot of great people who are on YouTube out there. ABL is talking about this. You hear my girl Tree of Logic's talking about this. We got to talk to each other. We got to talk to each other about helping our people. Like Cynthia G talks about the black woman. You guys continue to, you don't beat up black women, even if you don't agree 100%. And even if you don't understand them, we don't need to continue to degrade ourselves. We don't need to put downers on ourselves. We stop talking so negative. I ain't got no money. I don't want to hear about no more niggas with no money. You ain't got nothing new that ain't under the sun. So get off your kickster and find a way to make it happen. Find a way to make it happen. Stop doing those affirmations of failure out of your mouth. Stop doing it. D says the Pope is the devil. The Pope has an agenda, and the Pope is about making money. Jesus and God is nothing but symbolism. That's all that's about. Chop says, I care about the middle class in prison. I care about the middle class in prison as well. But do you know that's all we're caring about? What about the people who aren't in prison? What about the black family? Why are we talking about the black unity? That's what I want to know. What happened to the black family? If we can talk about that, because I talk about black on YouTube more than anything, to reach out to the conscious black community, can we talk about that black man when he gets home? How does he assimilate? How does he associate? How does he acclimate back into a system that has been totally transformed? A community where he don't even see his old people. He don't see his new people. He see a bunch of Latino people, and then he becomes confused. Or he becomes indoctrinated by, well, you know, brother, ain't no sisters good out here. You might as well get you a fake Kardashian and hook up with one of them Latino girls. I mean, this is an issue. Dunn's report said LGBT and the foreigners were the only groups that Obama looks out for. Oh, yeah, he did. Obama made it very clear. He helped illegal immigrants. He helped immigrants, chain migration, and the LGBT community. LGBT, AFC, KFJ, WY community. What about us? We ain't got a thing out of it. But I can't go back to that administration. What I have to do is hold this administration adherent and accountable. I need you guys to start listening to people who have common sense in the black community. I need you guys to stop attacking each other and stop saying this administration is so evil, and start writing down, contacting your local elected officials, your assemblyman, your senator, your congressman, all those people. You contact those people and you tell them it is not right that liberal progressive media gets on nationwide television, put their finger in Sarah Huckabee's face saying you don't care about babies. I was a child. My mom said, you're going to be responsible for what you bring into this world. You bring into this world, you feed it, you clothe it, you're liable for it. But they come here with an agenda to suck the infrastructural systems that we have away from us. They come here with an agenda to send money back to their country. They come here with an agenda to push veterans, homeless black people onto the street. And that stuff has to stop. T. West, Afro Synergy News, make sure you guys watch him, said when Roman Church puts out the agenda of mainstream media, and I'm paraphrasing, and immigrants and separation from their children. You know, yeah, this is the Catholic Church. This is progressive liberals. And this is a derailment of the voice of the people of what they want to talk about. There's a war between the voice of the people and the liberal media. Because of social media, the social media has one voice. The black conscious community has another voice. And we all talk different things. But the mainstream media wants to overshadow the people's real voice. And the people's real voice said, I've had enough. Keep your legs closed. Tell them Pope to take up them gold dollars that they got and all that money that they have for the church, and they need to be responsible. Dunham report says the black community got crunched during the Obama administration. It wasn't black. Obama administration did devastation to us. It was farce. It was an illusion. At the end, he's up there welcoming all these black people. You know what the problem with black people? I'm going to let you know a report. The problem with black people is we don't understand legislation and laws. We don't understand lobbying. We don't understand that there are rules allocated to protect us as a protective class. We were protective during the duration of the Indians, and the Indians, for some reason, were able to get that, and we didn't. They broke us during Black Wall Street. We don't have to go back that far. They broke us in the 80s, and they broke us during President Obama. But because of the conscious community that we have now, people like me and you and T. West and other people out there that are out there who have a voice, who have common sense. Robert Perkins, shout out to him. I love his show too. Look, we all don't always agree on everything. I get it. Even Yvette Cornell and I do not see things eye to eye, especially when it comes to finances where everybody's black and broke. When she goes on that rant, I shut down because I can't relate to that. But I will tell you this. It's the hunger will survive, the strong will survive, the perseverance will survive. These people are persistently pushing their agenda. They're persistently putting their children on the front line. And we as black people are being stepped on as a leverage for them to be pushed up. That's what we're doing. We're allowing them to step on us and push us up there. And we're allowing that agenda to not be the agenda of what we can do for this. How do we make black people great again? That's what I want to know. How do you make black people great again? Because the only way you're going to make black people great again is not to be brainwashed. Exactly. Because that's what Chopstick said. I also think that black people are brainwashed to liberalism. Yeah, they're brainwashed. You're brainwashed because you haven't done your homework. So if you watch this and you say, I'm not brainwashed, I got a bane, I don't fuck you, lady, I don't like you, I don't care if you like me or not. Look at the facts of laws, agenda, and legislation. Have you done that much homework, or are you just watching videos of people ranting? I'm not telling you to watch because I'm ranting. I want you to tell you to do your homework. I want you to tell me why legislators are giving these people empowerment and rules and regulations that we don't get. That's all I want to know. I wonder why you guys with these large platforms are talking about Kim Kardashian or bullshit like Kathy Griffin going after Kevin Hart. She just wants more attention. She's got mental issues. That lady's cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. She's mentally crazy. I'm not going to talk about that woman. I did my one video where I ranted about the bitch. She crazy. Let's move on. Let's go back and talk about wealth and opportunity. Let's talk about the rat race that we live in as a community of people that we as a people have to get out of. That's why I had you guys watch me play Cash Flow. That game is free online. That should be something that you embed in your own mind, your own words of affirmation. Say good words to yourself. Say, I'm not stupid, I'm not dumb, I'm highly intelligent, I can get the job done. Say words that offer opportunity. Say good words to your children. Say things that we don't need the government. We will know that doors of opportunity will open for us if we put our best mind forward thinking. Not foot, mind first, because we got mental issues that they're breaking. They've taken the shackles off of our feet and they've put them on our mind. They've told us certain things. You can't do it. You're stupid. You're dumb. Look at the numbers. Everything's working against you. But for some reason, some people get through the cracks. And a lot of the cracks have to do with, like this thing called the secret, the affirmation of life and death through your mouth. I want to encourage you guys to get out of that mindset. But most of all, when you see situations where another group of people are being pushed ahead of you, there is a problem with that. There's a huge, huge problem with that. Yo-Yo 103 Queenan, that's an interesting name. Say, hey Shirley, I'm with you on the illegal immigration situation all the way. You know what? I know I talk about illegal immigrants a lot, but I get tired of how we're not talked about, but they are. I get tired of seeing how we see things happening. We've put so much into this country. And then they said, you guys don't want to work. Again, this is liberal feminists, the feminist movement. Y'all see me do that video about Beyonce, by the way? The liberal feminists that say that the black woman is the queen. She's a god. And then they got these little gay men pushing liberal, lesbian, black women. But what about the black man, the Afrocentric, strong black man? They don't want no black man with some real coffee, with some kahunas, got balls between his legs versus some tampons. They want the tampon brother. They want you to promote the tampon brother, those soft milk toast marshmallow kind of brother. They don't want no Wakanda brother. And I'm tired of that. Black sisters want them black men back. Leave my black men for the hell alone. Leave them alone. Go play with your own tampons. That's just the real truth of the matter. And these liberal progressive women, these feminist movement, want to continue to break the family and create a new family. They'll tell you, I'm not trying to break the family reports. Don't get it twisted. They believe in the family. They want to create a whole new family. 2 women eating pussy, gonna create a baby. 2 women who are gonna emasculate a little boy that they raise to have an effeminate way. Next thing you look up, you got another gay black man in the world today. They have twisted our minds and messed up our ecosystem of our family. But they want to continue to say, hey, I want to go after the liberal progressive. We want Beyonce and worship what she has to say. Look, leave our black men alone. Yes, yo, leave our black men alone. Go ahead and, why don't you go mess with them little Chinese men or Armenian men? Now you're going to say, well, Shirley, you're being racist. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, we're talking about cultures of people, right? Targeted cultures of people. Black men are targeted in this country. And up to black women to say, leave our men alone. Shout out to Cynthia G, who's constantly saying that. Shout out to Nikki Green, who I love and adore. Sister from another mother. Shout out to Tree of Logic. Shout out to Christy, who loves Chocolate Sisters. I ain't hating on none of these women. They want to divide us. They want to seem like we're lunatics, we're crazy because strong women have opinion. Fuck you. Leave our black men alone. I'm sick of these feminist women. And they're bold, they get in your face and they're intimidating. You're not going to intimidate me. I'm an Afrocentric black woman. I believe in that black man. They incarcerate tall, strong black men. That's what they do in this country. And they continue to want to do that, and it's destroying us. And we need to stop all this madness going on. A Chopstick says feminist is gross and it is destroying the black male image. It is. The metrosexual, bisexual, transgender. And I got gay friends. Look, if that's their thing, that's their thing. I'm not going to attack them. I want to talk about them as a person, and I love them as people. But I always tell them they need to find a new friend. They're on the wrong train. You know, especially the ones that continue to want to push it on me. The teenage gay, she says, I have a teenage nephew. Okay, you say you have a teenage nephew, seem to have gay ways and find it quite disturbing. Well, you need to sit down and call him out on it. Well, why are you so effeminate? Who is he around? Does he have any Afrocentric male examples? Is there any mentorship for black men? There's a lot of black male mentorships that are out there, you guys. The 100 Black Men, my friend Damon, he's part of that group, if he ever watches my videos. You know, there's a lot of black men who want to help young black men, but you got to make sure they ain't going to try to do something with them. So a lot of the ways that young black men have effeminate tendencies is because A, they're around too many women, don't have a father, or they realize that the girls are getting more attention and they're not. So if they go, hey girlfriend, how you doing? What's going on? Hey boo. I said, boy, who's your boo? Who is your girlfriend? And what's wrong with you? Grow some dick. Grow some dick. So sometimes you got to call these people out. And you call their children out. You're going to say, oh, that's not nice. I'm not here to do a nice video. Go watch some nice videos. I'm not going to do a video every day, every week, every hour, ranting on subject matters. I want us as a Wakanda, as black people, to sit down and realize, stop fighting against the administration and get something out of it. Because we didn't get nothing from Obama, so we're supposed to sit back and talk about impeach. So you see the Congressional Black Caucus talking about impeaching. That's not helping us as American people. We're not just black, but we are American-born people. We are people here legally. We are here legally. Thank you for adoring me, Sap. So forget, let's put black aside. Let's call it money and numbers. These people are coming here, and they're coming in numbers. They're using chain migration and government visa programs to build their culture of people, to send money back to their country, and they're not helping America be made great again. And you live in America. In the meantime, your taxes are high. In California, your income taxes are high. 10% income tax in California. They have this thing called healthy tax, that when you go out and eat, you got to pay an additional 4% on your bill when you eat. Do you want that in your state? They're going to say, well, I don't live in California. I don't care. Don't worry. They'll be in your neighborhood real soon. Start opening your eyes and see how many of them get all the construction jobs, get all the workers' jobs. They're becoming police officers, firemen. They work behind the counters. They're cooking your food. They snoot their nose. They won't speak English in front of you. They talk. All this is simulation. I went to King Tut's museum exhibit in California just this weekend. Now the museums are deciding to put the language in English and Spanish, so when their exhibit viewers come, they can read it in Spanish and English. They do not have to assimilate. You are now, and that is a problem. That is a problem. Asian men are being targeted. White men are being targeted for the gay movement, the gay and lesbian movement. I'm not arguing with that. But what I'm arguing again is that those people had their heyday. The president took the whole White House and made it red, white, and blue and purple colors, rainbows, okay? You had your moment in history, one moment in time. I'm not going to continue to let those people have power and then dry it off of black people. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of liberal progressives using their platform on the backs of the indigenous slave children who they don't think have a voice or pushing back. As an Afrocentric woman, I'm letting you know, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. Because you don't give a damn about black people. You just want to push your agenda. It's about your narrative, and we have all gotten tired of it, and it's gotten old. And many of y'all won't even speak up on that. You've allowed these people to come into our community and act like they're part of the community. They're not part of your community because the black family is being broken. The new black family is 2 men and a baby. The new black family are 2 women and a baby. The new black family is all these other kind of people coming and a baby, or 2 or 3 babies. And then the baby's head's all twisted up. Seeing them make out, seeing them have sex, seeing them, exposing them to things early in life, trying to confuse their mind, pushing their agenda in public schools and telling them that these things are what's true. Look, homosexuality, and I'm going to get off the homosexual trick, but I'm just going to say it all comes down to DNA. Your DNA determines what you are. You're either male or female. Your DNA determines that. Oh, no, they're born that way. No, it's a DNA issue, honey. They're a man. Now, if they psychologically want to feel that they're a woman and they're telling themselves they're a woman, they want to be a woman, they can do that. But they are a man and she is a woman. So that's what Obama pushed. Obama pushed chain ligation and illegal immigrants and had that man, y'all try to find that video where he's speaking and the little man behind says, you need to sign this into law right now, where they get aggressive and they start demanding this administration to step up. And the Republicans are a part of that too. I'm a Republican, but that does not make them not responsible for what is going on in this country. There are rhinos who are getting checks. The Catholic Church are getting checks, and we ain't getting nothing. What they're doing is subsidizing and getting earmarks and ciphering off of those subsidies for these people, and we are getting stepped to the side. Y'all need to wake up and realize what's going on in this world. Georgia, if Ben Carson and HUD and Pastor Darrell Scott worked directly with Trump infrastructure, including the inner cities. Look, there's a lot going on in Washington. Darrell Scott has this thing called the Coalition of Inclusiveness. He's on this inclusive coalition kick. He's not about black people. I've reached out to Darrell Scott. I've called Darrell Scott. Darrell Scott only talks to people with money. Okay? And I'm saddened by the fact that Mr. Trump brought in powerful money people, but then when he came to the black community, he didn't bring in powerful black money people. He brought in people who aren't used to multi-million-dollar issues. Okay? These people probably never made but 2 or 3 million, 100,000 a year. I'm talking about these other people that he brought in the beginning of his administration who were multi-millionaires. And we have black people who are multi-millionaires. A lot of them don't want to be in front of the camera and don't want to be seen. So understand, a lot of black wealthy people who are in this country don't want that voice because they want to stay wealthy. They don't want the IRS to know they have money. They don't want you to know they have money, so you won't be writing letters asking them for stuff. But we do have blacks who are wealthy and who are millionaires, to me, who should have got some federal appointments, especially some type of boards to restructure the black community. And I think that's where the Trump administration could have done a little better. Regarding Ben Carson and the HUD situation, I'm in real estate, okay? So I realize that Ben Carson said he is doing things for the urban community. His job as the HUD administration is to help all the communities. He's not going to focus primarily on black. He said he's going to do something. I have yet to see that happen. I'm yet to see that come into place. I'm a really independent for 10 years, the last 10 years. Good for you, Yo-Yo. Afrocentricity talks about don't be a Republican or Democrat, being independent. Why am I a Republican? I'm going to tell you why I'm a Republican. A Republican have the values which I stand behind. The Republican Party was the first party to give blacks the right to vote. The Republican Party believes in capitalism. It believes in less government. And it believes that we as people should be more empowered than the government entity in itself. Now, do they enforce those ideologies within the Republican Party always? No, they don't. Do they adhere to the foundational definition of the Republican Party? No, they do not. Did that make me want to become independent? No, because the independent party doesn't have any power. If you are a black Republican, you have an opportunity to get closer to the seat at the table. As an independent, you have the right to vote either way. I have the right to vote either way as a Republican, but I have no power or less access to money opportunities if I claim to be an independent. So this country is ran by monies and numbers. Monies, if there's such a word, monies and numbers. So in order to have access to that, I had adhered to a group that I am a Republican, and they have reached out to me to be able to do things and talk in the behalf of the party. But the party has failed my people, absolutely. The White House has failed, absolutely. But we, most of all, have failed ourselves. Because the White House did come to an agenda asking to help us. Omarosa screwed that up. Darrell Scott got us on this diversification coalition. Ben Carson's got his own thing going. And Mia Love ain't black. She's Haitian, made in Utah Mormon. You figure all that out. You figure all that out with Mia Love. Ain't nobody brought her onto the table. But she's there. She's actually an immigrant. She's not a child of the indigenous slave children. So I don't even be talking about her in my conversations. But she's there, and they put her up in the front. But Mia Love is not a black American. She is a child of immigrants, and she is here as an American. And she is an American. She's not a child of the indigenous slave tribe. So there's all the same thing with Omarosa. She had this big Nigerian wedding. I think she's Nigerian, or whatever country she's from. She had that cultural wedding. She didn't have the typical indigenous slave black child wedding where we jump over brooms because the slaves couldn't get married. So the only way we could show our love to each other is by jumping over a broom. So if you go to a broom jumping wedding, that's a child of the indigenous slave. Those are children who relate black people, black American people, who came from the indigenous slave tribe. So you got to clarify, everybody black ain't black. Everybody who supports you ain't on the same side. But it gets old and it needs to have a clarification on that. Martin Luther King was a Republican. I totally agree. He was a Republican. But I think Martin Luther King had some issues that when he died very young. Remember, this is a man that died at 36. And then everybody else have derived whatever they feel about him. But I think Martin and Malcolm all had an agenda. I think that they came together, and just because we don't see pictures don't mean that they didn't meet. It's just they knew the power of letting them know that they were talking. They had issues. I think we need to talk more about Thurgood Marshall. We talk about King a lot. What about Thurgood Marshall, who didn't get along with King? Thurgood Marshall, who talked about the infrastructure rules and regulations and laws and was on the Supreme Court. And ruled for a long time. Y'all need to study Thurgood Marshall. The guy who played Black Panther played Thurgood Marshall recently. That movie was at the box office. It was good, but it didn't really have a really strong enough message to me. It really didn't show the shift of where blacks were protected by the ACLU. Now, the ACLU used to ride on us to get paid. See, legal people get money when they can support propaganda. I'm going to tell you what a good friend said who doesn't want to come in front of the camera, but I'm going to tell you something that's profound, and you write this down. There's no profit in the cure. Write that down. There's no profit in the cure. If we cure our issues, black people cure our issues, if we cure our community, if we stop these governmental programs and find the cure, someone is not going to get a check. Someone is not going to get their subsidized systems that they get every year, their nonprofit money every year. There's no profit in the cure. We have to fight against that. And we need to say, is it about the profit or is it about the rules, the regulation, and the rights as American citizens of protective people that we are? Is it about us creating, this is the right from the wrong that we're not doing? Afrosynergy says, you say a lot of stuff out there. The media continue to push the children of separating the families after the Catholic bishop meeting in Florida that threatens the Catholic politicians. Look, the loudest voice at the table gets heard. If we were louder and said, well, hell, if you're going to help them, why not help us? I mean, you're going to separate families. What about black families that are getting separated through mass incarceration? What about black families who are getting separated and homes being taken over by scandalous mortgage loan deals and put black families homeless on the street? Black businesses that have been taken over because of the skill set stolen by illegal immigrants, of black families being homeless on the street. What about those families? If we can identify, if they gonna cry wolf, hell, cry wolf with them. Come on. I understand mainstream medium has their same thing, but we have to be a person of vocal point as a people. Stop beating each other up. I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care if you're independent or Democrat. You need to fucking wake up. I know that much. I knew every day we talk about the latest trends on the news or we talk about somebody else's video. Talk about my video. Take this video and then make comments on me. I don't care. Because the truth of the matter is, we as black people have set aside our protective class rights and given it to these people. And the Catholic Church is really pushing liberal progressives to say you have no sympathy for their babies. Keep your legs closed. I keep saying that over and over. If you had a train, they would hold their baby up. This is my baby. This is my baby. Oh, there's children here. There's children here. That's what they're programmed to say. I say run over them and their children. Because, see, you should go back from the country that you came from. Oh, you're not kind. I'm not trying to be kind to you. Go back to where you came from. Be responsible to where you came from. Go back to Guadalajara, Mexico, El Salvador. Go back to Saudi Arabia. Go back to China. Go back to wherever you came from. That you want us to be liable and responsible for your child and your life with our money subsidizing your family and create the infrastructure of your country. Go back there, because if you go back and you fix the infrastructure of your country, you won't be ciphering off of me, and you won't be coming into the urban black communities first to destroy us like Obama did. And y'all keep praising this man with his $500 million museum he's trying to build in Chicago, taking over acreage of land. You people in Chicago are stupid. You don't let that man come over there and push you out on the streets, have you kill each other, and then you praise him. Something wrong with you people in Chicago. I don't care if you like this video or not. You people in Chicago's got issues who support that. You should say, we don't want your museum. You should pick it in front and stand behind the bulldozers that are tearing down the park. We don't want his park. We don't want it here. And I don't know where that $500 million is coming from, but it's probably going to be subsidized by the people to glorify a man that attacked his own people or his own state kingmanship in that state. That's a bunch of bull crap. It's sad. Report said the NAACP was created by the Jews to figure out that one. The NAACP was created by the Jews. The NAACP, the ACLU, the Urban Leagues are all in them together to keep us divided and confused and talking on bullshit. And talk about how they're the ones to keep us incarcerated. And they're the ones that keep us aborting babies. They're the ones. And the rest of us who have not done either one are not getting any attention. Are not talking about cash flow and money opportunities and utilizing the systems, the infrastructural American system, to make our lives better. Well, that's not going to happen, Shirley. I watch Yvette Carnell, and she says that we can't make any money. Yvette got issues with money. Yvette probably ain't never had no money. I don't care if y'all shit. Yvette don't threaten me. Yvette already know my personality type. I like Yvette. I watch her on some points, but when she start talking about black people ain't got no money, here's the data. She lives in data dumpy dono world. She continues to talk about the negativity. She's not providing no solutions. She just wants solutions of non-existence to be communicated on her channel. And you can share that with her. I'm tired of her not talking about any money solution or resolutions. Y'all can talk about Watkins all you want. And I know he has some money issues, but at least he's trying to talk about money in the black community. We can't talk about making money or creating money, but we're going to talk about government supporting us and subsidizing for us. Well, is that going to be something we're going to do eternally? Are we going to continue to be something that we suck out of a system? Are we going to continue to be another form of slavery? Because all they've done is taken a shackle off our feet and put it on our mind. And then you guys support and have huge numbers because you like those Debbie Downer conversations that they put out there. And that's why people like me or T West or ABL or Nikki Green or Tree of Logic or even Cynthia G, people who are raw in your face, or Robert Perkins, Jay Black, I forget about J.D. Black. You know, I know they talk about celebrities and all them come off. And even on why you guys won't even watch some of these people who really are in your face telling you real truth. You don't want to support those numbers, but you support the ones talking about we need to stay broken and pressed down. I've told you, study different things. Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Move the Cheese. Go study that book. Look up Who Moved the Cheese. I'll talk about that. Find Gina Lofton. I'm going to have her back on my show. Get out of the rat race. Escape the rat race. We have to escape that race. And part of that stuff is in our mind. We talk about the shackles of what is on our bodies and what the government is imposing. A lot of the shackles are verbally that are put on our mind and in our mouth. We wake up daily saying, I can't get that. I ain't going to have that. I'll never be that. Well, you're not. Because you got people that you spend, that you put in your system. You let that spirit get into your system that you can't do it. So sometimes I'm not going to watch Yvette when she goes on her rant about money because she don't know about money. She ain't never had no money. This girl will tell you that black people ain't got no money. Well, girl, you ain't preaching nothing new. You ain't preaching nothing new. But what you ain't preaching is a solution for financial resources to change this country or change a nation of people. You're just providing hopeless, optimist ideologies into the millennials, which are also not true. What we used to have, what we still can have. If we come together and come up with solutions for ourselves and stop beating each other up and telling ourselves that we're less than, because I'm not allowing that stuff in my spirit, and I would say the same to many of you. And if you share this video with her, she may not say nothing because her numbers are so off the chain now. She's papa, you can't talk to Yvette like you used to. She ain't the sister I thought she was. She didn't go into another world, and that's the real facts. All right, the lip with the Citrix, KVITA8 stated that Trump is a blessing in disguise. Well, Farrakhan said that. For those who don't like Farrakhan said that Trump is a blessing in disguise for black people, but they continue to fight against their own best interests by not bringing a solution or being at the table when he attends. I totally agree with that. People didn't believe that Trump was going to change or disrupt this system. He has. We have a systematic things that have been in place where congressional leaders, senators have been in office forever. They continue to run this country. They continue to push this country and drive this country into the ground and have it so that they can take the revenue, the tax dollars that they get every year, and they change and they come in with ideologies of programs at the beginning of the year, and they start the whole machine all over. So it's like a rat race that we do every year, and at the end of that year, we start over again. Nothing is changing. We've empowered other countries. That's why it was important that Mr. Trump changed the tariff laws. He basically negotiated more opportunities for us and stopped giving them to China, because Trump saw what Obama did with China and Brazil and with the oil and energy. Now that's coming back to us. We are so dependent upon the steel. We all use steel. We all use metal. Metals and everything. We were one of the biggest metal manufacturers, and we still can be, but China got that empowerment. Now China's pissed. They can't piss on America anymore. That affects black Americans, and that affects black people. Let's see. Top says she said that on TV. Yes, whoever she is. Afrocentric said blacks are slowly moving towards Trump. Some are key with some key issues. Yes. Those key issues are our people and economics. Those key issues are solutions. Other than us talking about government subsidies as a resolutional answer, the solution of structure. But we as black people have to unite. People got mad because Kim Kardashian was able to get the lady out. Other black organizations have been trying forever. She shouldn't get credit. We got one out. We got one out. Okay? They just lost one. Y'all need to hear that. Lord, what's her name? Oh my God, it'll come to me. We just lost one. They lost one. We as people have to stop. Whoever's going to be that front, I don't care. That girl thinks she's black in her mind anyway. She got a little half black baby. She thinks she's black. The babies, but she got black babies. So I don't care. She got that lady out. She has the money. She has the platform. She has the numbers. We don't have those numbers that Kim KW has. Let her use that platform to get more of us out. She wants to be the hedge way to help us open more doors to get that seat at the table with the president regarding mass incarceration. Grant you, all of us who've been pushing and behind that issue, especially those who've been really, really pushing it, may not be up the front line, but at least she was able to get something executed. She was able to get something executed. There are agendas that this administration is doing that are good for for our people, but we don't help each other. We're too divisive and destructive among ourselves. Metal has gone up, unfortunately. Metal has gone up immensely because the Chinese people are mad because Trump is aligning North Korea, South Korea. He's aligning Singapore. He's aligning the Philippine Islands. See, China has to realize there are other people with people in their country, and there's other countries with a lot of money. They, on the other hand, want to continue to seem like they're gods when it comes to manufacturing and ownership of goods. We as Americans need to do what? We need to make our own stuff here. We need to be the gods and kings of this country to make stuff here first and then start pushing back against immigrants who come here and break our rules and regulations. Trump asked NFL protesters to give him a name. Okay, so y'all want to talk about this NFL Georgia situation again. Unfair. Look, I talked about the NFL earlier before. The NFL players have to do their job, which is pick a ball and run down a field, right? That's what they get paid for. They get paid to pick a ball up and go down the field. And people are mad because they can't kneel. They can't do what they want at their job. It's like when the Muslims got mad when they said, we pray 5 times a day. So in the middle of their accountant office, they pull out a mat and they start bowing down. When they've been hired to pay to work, you've been hired to run a ball. If black pro athletes really want to help their community, they don't need legislation or government. Black pro athletes could take 1% of their check of their $120 million contract, which would be 1.2 as 10%. Okay, if they took, no, that'd be more than that. It'd be 120 million would be more than that. They could take that 12, baby, $12 million at 10%, 1.2 at 1%. Someone help me with my math. If I don't have it right or wrong, they could take that $1 million that they make and they could create a nonprofit infrastructure to embellish into their community to make their country, their communities better. In Chicago and Detroit or wherever cities that they come from, they could go and enforce a better, cleaner community. They have the money to do it. No, they'd rather go on some show and show you all the cars and the houses and the stuff and the blings and the tattoos they got. So what are their priorities? Because money and numbers is what makes a change in this country. You kneeling, knowing that you're in the 1% is confusing in my mind. The 1% kneeling asking for help. You don't need no help. You got the money to change the scenario. You don't want to change the scenario. Now you mad because no one's endorsing you. Okay? Hey, there's my girl out there. And you don't stop. Yo. Hi, Shirley. I'm happy to finally catch you live. I know I don't do live in a day. Maybe I might do it more. I'm not going to do live 24 hours. I'm focusing on real estate. I'm here to help people in real estate. I'm here working on my business. I'm working on projects that I'm not always going to share online. Everybody think they know me because I don't put all my business online, and you should not either. And then we're dealing with people trying to shut down the voice. I may not be a Kim K fan. I heard that yo-yo, but I got to give Kim big props up for what she's doing. And blacks, I think black people were trying, and they knew that they had to push something. And she's married to a black man who supports Trump and was able to get that voice out there. Afro Synergy News says the kneeling started a discussion, and that is good. I totally agree with you. The kneeling starts discussions, and that was good, and that is good. My question is, what's going to come out of it? Because we have all these discussions, the kneeling, the mass incarceration, the Planned Parenthood, abortion. We still ain't talking about money. Why ain't nobody talking about where's money going to help black people? Where is money being created through the black community to help black people? Where are the jobs? Where are the trade schools for money to help black people to help themselves? That's more important than anything to me because money can fix a lot of these problems. Money is fixed. Problems are fixed with money. You want to get your cousin Pookie out of jail? You got a couple $1 million, you get a better lawyer. You got a couple $100,000, you got a couple thousand, get a better attorney. You get a better case created to clean up the false narrative that was created on Pookie to get him out. That takes money. You got to take money. So if we want to get mass incarceration in, we want to stop Planned Parenthood, we tell these young girls how important it is about their bodies. We create programs for young black men who have single parent moms so that they can have black men who are Afrocentric black men, who are not emasculated black men, to have a voice at the table and move forward to that. So anyway, I'm about an hour right now. I don't want to keep holding y'all up. I thank you for listening to me. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I was pissed at Facebook. I was talking for a good while, and that feed got cut off. Had 400 people watching. That feed got cut off. See, they'll let this other bullshit be talked online about celebrities and the industry and I hate Trump and the liberal progressives. But let a real sister with raw information come to the front of the table, they want to shut us down. Don't let them shut you down. Don't be intimidated. Don't set your ideologies in alignment with them. Don't give them an inch of ground or a step or a stool to stand on. Don't have compassion to people who have children illegitimately. Don't have compassion to people who say you're separating their children. Tell them to take their children, go back to the country they came from, and fix their country. And if they do that, they can do better for themselves. If they do that, they can make their country, wherever the hell they came from, better. But stop coming here and taking our tax dollars, our retirement dollars, our infrastructural dollars that are supposed to help the homeless, the veterans, the Black Americans, the Mexican Americans, the Chinese Americans, the white Americans, the indigenous slave children Americans. Those are the people that should be able to have the voice first. And all these other YouTubers who are ranting on stuff that ain't going to put money in your pocket, stop watching them shows. I gave you some people to watch. T. West got great, thorough information. Robert Perkins shares his heart. Jay Black has good passion out there. Cynthia G just being raw as a sister for who she is and being attacked on her makeup and stuff and bull crap that's out there. Y'all stop beating our own people up. It doesn't help us move forward. We're not progressing that way. Try to focus on how do I get out of this rat race. Read Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Play the game. It's free online. Cash flow. It's free. I did it on one of my videos where I talked about wealth. Go on my YouTube channel. Subscribe. I mean, I put videos up 4 or 5 times a day. But when I do, I try to put something pertinent, something of value, and something that adds to your life. And I hope that you do appreciate that. And I continue to want to give you ideologies that make you think. Like T. West said, we have to have conversation. We may not all agree, but we have to think. I'm trying to do things that we create a village, an opportunity of a discussion versus a yelling, combated conversation, an attacked, well, so-and-so attacked so-and-so, so-and-so attacked so-and-so. I understand. Sometimes some people got to be called out. Now, let's just get it real. Some people need to find out who's real, who's zooming who. Okay, that's an old school stand. Who's zooming who, girl? Who are they doing that to you, girl? Now, I'm from California. I got Southern family members. They talk so fast, I'm like, I don't know what they're saying. But you learn to get it. And hopefully we will get it, and we will have a better conversation. Georgia, thank you so much. Caveat, thank you so much. Max, I see you out there. Cynthia J. I love Cynthia G. I know Cynthia says some things that may be questionable. I love me some Cynthia G. I love watching her show. She keeps it who she is. Shout out to her. Perkins, Perry, I thank you so much. Stump Down. The Report. Hey, some of y'all, if you want me on your show, just DM me. If you want me to come on in and we can do a cross away. Hey, Beverly, how you out there? I saw you coming in there. I think that many of you guys, if you want to have a voice and you want me to kind of go on your show live, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to share my heart. Chopstick, thank you for giving some of your input out there. And Audrey, I thank you for that. Black Americans are at 14% of the population. Look, we're in foster care. We're homeless. All this is an issue. Yeah, we know that. What's the solution? The solution comes with money. How do we make the money? How do we hire the courts? How do we combat with the legal system? How do we combat with the government? Instead of saying we need to subsidize from each other. We need to know about OPM, other people's money. We need to learn about making money from each other and creating platforms, RITs, real estate platforms. That's why I'm telling you, go play cash flow. Type it in, cash flow, Kiyosaki cash flow. Learn how to make money, because money is the only thing that's going to change this, because the government only will continue to use you as a subsidy and a backbone for some other narrative. They don't make money with no solutions. No solution comes up because we as a people don't say anything. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to head out. I love you. I see you. You don't stop talk. You don't. And you don't. Thank you all so much. I love you. I love you, Chris. Thank you so much. Audrey, thank you so much. And I'll try to come back live more. I'll try, but I got to get to work. So thank you guys so much. Good night or good day.